Yo, yo, what up, guys? It's your boy T. That was Blazing the Sports. Guy, listen, we are back. We are live, giving you boxing geekers this work. Guys, got a chance to see the Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas press conference. Definitely a fight I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen. Um, and let me give you guys my thoughts on this fight on Errol Spence Jr. I do have a poll. Hope you guys get a chance to hit the poll if you get a chance to come and catch it live. Or you can comment on this video once it posts and just let me know, do you really believe that Earl Spence Jr. is 100% back? Now, I can't speak on the physical, but mentally, I think Earl Spence Jr. is 100% back. But listen, mentally, wanted to be in the game, wanting to fight, that is different from actually getting out there and not having ring rust. Um, having your timing back, being away from the ring for about a year and a half. Shout out to my boy in the building, T Dub. What it do, or better yet, what it does. Plural on the S's. Let's get it. Oh man, what's going on with you, champ, man? I'm at the house. I'm slowly getting better. I'm loving it. I'm like McDonald's right now. Bop, 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 bop. I'm loving it. Uh, at work, walking around a little bit windy. I might go back and forth between the car. But guys, when I watch this press conference, and I want to try to get some takeaways, some thoughts on it, try to get a feel from it, listening to Errol Spence Jr. talk, listening to Yordenis Ugas, and then listening to his translator on, him translating what Ugas is actually saying. And I'm just trying to get a feel for myself on how each guy is approaching this. And I can tell definitely from Errol Spence. Errol Spence to me is one of them guys that he is like a how do I say the word? No excuses. He is a no excuse type of dude. Um, every time he could have came back and took a light touch, he always want to fight the biggest fight. I believe even if Manny Pacquiao would have beat Ugas, and the same thing, happened to Earl with his eye and he come back. I believe he'd like, no, I still want that Pacquiao fight straight back. I just think he truly 100% believe in himself, believe in his skills, that he can get the job done with anybody he's in there with. I still believe the toughest matchup, at least on paper, until they actually get in the ring, is Terrence Crawford. Listen, I just have a tremendous amount of respect for Terrence Crawford fight game. This guy is skilled, he's skilled. He is special. He's like Sean Porter said, he got the quan or whatever it is. So when they started off the press conference, they hold meetings and Jerry Jones and all that good stuff. But when they got to Ugas, instead of answering the question that they asked, he decided to let his how do you say it? What is it? Can I just say human side? I don't want to say political, or I think human side, because he was like, listen, before I talk boxing, I gotta look out for my people that's going through this and going through that. And I gotta look out for some of them that's over there in Ukraine and for what the Ukraine is going through. And let's do a moment of silence. Part of me thought like, because they couldn't really interrupt him because there is a language barrier and they kind of just let him go. But part of me was like, he wanted to take over for that time, for them few minutes. He done that. He wanted to just take over, do his moment of silence, and then say, now I'm ready to answer questions. To me, that was that was when you are at a boxing press conference where time is money and they are spending it on boxing. I definitely, I don't know, man. Maybe it's me looking too much into it. I definitely understand him, looking out for or mentioning his people and what everybody's going through, because people are going through a lot right now, losing lives and different things, which is a very serious matter. But it just looked like he kind of just took over for a second, before he can even talk about what they're actually paying him to actually talk about. part of me was like, is Ugas, is he too confident? That's the thing. Is he too confident at this point? Has he got to the point? I don't think he is the confident level of Kambosos. I think Kambosos right now is, like he think he's Van Damme back in Van Damme height of blood sport right now. He think he's um everybody else is Jerry Maguire, and they got to show him the money. What's up with the champ? He says, smash the like button. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Dallas, Texas in the building. What's up, champ? Shout out to my boy T Dub. You know it. You know it. Home and unified champ Errol Spence Jr. Let's get to analyzing this fight, right? Basically, I just got to talking about, looks like Ugas might be getting maybe coming in. You know, I don't know. That win for Pacquiao, it might have changed his mindset. I always believed that he believed in himself. I think no matter who Ugas fight, I think he believes in himself, which is getting him to the position he is now. As beating Manny Pacquiao. Many people thought he beat Sean Porter. Ugas to me, he's a big welterweight. Even during the face-off, to me, naturally, it looks like Ugas might be naturally bigger, possibly, but I could be wrong because I know Errol Spence Jr. is a half an inch taller. But one of the great things about it, if you are Errol Spence Jr. fan, is Errol Spence Jr. has a 2-inch reach advantage. Now, when it comes to jabbing, because Ugas is he had a nice jab. He's a really good counterpuncher. People don't give him credit for that. He's a really good counterpuncher, and he counters in different spots. Love going to the body, which is why this fight is going to be crazy because you're going to have Ugas going to the body and Errol Spence going to the body. Hey, we're going to find out. We're going to find out who cannot take it to the body, or somebody, even if they both survive it, somebody gonna be throwing up afterwards. Anytime they eat anything, it's coming right back up from them body shots. But this fight, guys, when I just think about it, right, and I'm actually analyzing it, this fight, I don't think it's going to be as exciting as Crawford Porter or Porter Spence. I don't think it's going to have that raw rugged it's about to go down type of thing. I don't think it's like that. I really think it's going to be more of a brutal, calculated fight. Now let me explain that because I just came out of my head with that. Errol Spence Jr. is not a reckless dude. He will apply pressure, but he's not a reckless dude. He wants to come in. He wants to work behind the jab. He looks to try to go to the body with shots. Outside of the Sean Porter fight, I thought the Sean Porter fight, he fought very differently. I repeat, I do not think you're going to get the Errol Spence Jr. that fought Sean Porter. I don't think you're going to get that. I think that was something he did for Sean Porter. He wanted to out-Hulk the little Hulk Sean Porter. But to be honest, Sean Porter, Sean Porter was a beast at it. Everyone steps into the ring with Spence are confident until they feel them body shots. Ugas is going to get knocked out, just like Spence says. Keep that same energy. I don't know if he get knocked. Listen, I'm being honest. Now, to me, that's a stretch. I might call it. That might be a limousine. That might be some spandex right there. That might be a bit stressed. Listen, even when they asked Errol Spence Jr. that exact question about, are you gonna knock out man down? You're gonna knock out Ugas. And he was like, man, I said, I ain't knocked nobody out in a while. Basically, Errol Spence Jr. I think he's recognizing that it could be due to what he's been going on, right? He had the car crash. It could be due to as he's stepping up in competition. It's not just so easy to knock out competition that is actually good competition. And it could be due to the way he's training, the way he's dieting. Remember, he said, listen, I was I think a lot of it, me not getting the knockouts like that, is due to my dieting. Trying to wear sauna suits, running 2 times a day, and a lot of times when you run like that, you lose a lot of muscle mass. So a lot of people don't know this. Whenever you just cut weight crazy, yeah, you're burning fat and you're burning through water, but a lot of times you are burning muscle. Whenever you cut like that, you are burning muscle. Um, so maybe he's right, but you know what? 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 Ain't no excuses now. Ain't no excuses. So if he doesn't knock out Ugas, there's no excuse because he said, I've been training for 6 months. I've been staying in shape. And when Errol Spence Jr. and Ugas stood face to face, this is what I saw. Spence is just a little bit taller. Ugas got a big ass head. His head is bigger than Spence. What else? Both of these guys are focused. Matter of fact, in my opinion, I think Errol Spence Jr. he just blinks out because Ugas had to take his shades off, right? He like, let me look him straight eye to eye. He had to take his shades off because I saw another one after they did that one where they was at the actual another part of the stadium, and they was doing pictures or whatever with the field in the background. And again, Errol Spence Jr. when he does his stare down, he just have a blank, straightforward look. It's not like he's trying to intimidate you. He's not trying to look mean. He just has this blank look stare. And like I said, man, I think this is gonna be all business. I think it is not. At least I don't see it. I don't see it being a crazy exciting fight. I'm talking about crazy exciting. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm saying one of those fights like, whenever Deontay Wilder starts a fight, you're like, oh my gosh, right? You just know it's going to be entertaining because of styles. You know that. But when you look at these two guys' styles, one, they both can take some pretty good shots. Two, neither one of these guys are reckless. The most reckless I've seen Errol Spence Jr. is with Sean Porter. That is the most reckless. Because if you look how he fought a smaller man like Mikey Garcia, where he boxed and finessed him, then he goes in there with Sean Porter and he just trying to bulldog through him. That's the reckless I've seen Errol Spence Jr., and that's the most damage, the most amount of punishment that I've seen Errol Spence Jr. take. I don't think you're going to get that. I think you're going to get a well boxing Errol Spence Jr. And when I look at styles, and I said a long time ago, and I think I still hold to this. Errol Spence Jr., he has a style that nothing extremely just sticks out as being like extraordinary. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that when you look at people like Amir Khan, speed, right? Wilder, power, right? Palabanaji, lack of power, right? Things that stick out. But Errol Spence Jr. is one of them guys that if you was going to do a checklist, he checks every category good. Every category he checks good. Stance, good. Hand position, good. Standing lean, good. Chin down, good. Jab, good. Power, good. You know what I'm saying? Even speed. He's not a speedster. He just has, good speed. It ain't a speedster. He checks every category. And guys, it's hard to be someone that checks every category because you are trying to hit somebody that just how they stand, their presence, the use of their jab will make you think about throwing punches, make it harder for you to land punches. And you don't want to get hit by this guy because he does have power. Errol Spence is somebody that if you wanted to tell a new boxing student, you don't want to point him to Floyd Mayweather. You don't want to point him to Pacquiao, Sugar Ray Leonard. You don't want to point him to the guys. I will point them to Errol Spence Jr. because his fundamentals are great. And that is what wins. That's what wins. His fundamentals are great. And That's also part of the reason why I see this fight not being crazy exciting, because Ugas is not a crazy exciting fighter. Ugas is he is a pressure counterpuncher. He's going to pressure, or he's going to be holding his ground. He's going to be counterpunching. He doesn't have a different change in speed. It's not like he's going to come out there and then going to move a little bit. No, you're going to get what you get from Ugas. That's what you're going to get. And either he's going to be successful in it, or he's not going to be successful in it. But he's going to operate at that speed. He's going to have his hand. And again, Ugas got good defense. Like, again, the Cuban school of boxing, you know what I'm saying? He's not fleet on his feet. He's not a mover. But Ugas, he has some elbows tight. He has his hand up. He's coming forward. He's trying to stay in front of you. He's using that jab. And as soon as you trigger to throw something, he's looking to counter instantly. This could be one of them fights where both guys are boxing good. Then out of nowhere, somebody get hit with a body shot and can't take it. That's what it could be. It could be like, because think about it. Errol Spence Jr. is not a backup runner. Ugas is not a backup runner. Somebody in this fight is going to have to go backwards at some point. At some point, unless they're going to be like the old days, they're going to be in the center ring. They're going to put their foot inside this tire, and the only thing they can do is go round and round, but stay within punching distance. Somebody's going to back up. The question is, will it be your favorite fighter? That's the question. Ugas is going to get knocked out just like, okay, I'll tell you that. Will it be your favorite fighter? You know, man, like I said, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I kind of believe the person that would take the step backwards, I think it's going to be Spence. And I don't think it's like him running. I think he might just go back, slide over or something like that. I just see Ugas as a person that's going to, try to hold his ground or possibly keep coming forward. But I see Errol Spence Jr. because Earl has different speeds. Earl has a damn good jab. He goes to the body. He changes combinations up. He digs some of them. Pop, 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 pop. He get out there. He has two different gears, and I kind of seeing him going the distance with Ugas. I see the later rounds get more intense. Both guys having some success. Ugas probably gonna be doing better in the later end. But I see this as a fight that Errol Spence Jr. I would favor to win this fight. By knockout, I don't know. Listen, I'd be shocked. If Errol Spence Jr. can knock out Ugas, that's big. That's big. Like that is seriously putting his foot on the top of the welterweight division and standing up top. Like that's like Highlander, right? That's Highlander. If he can knock out Ugas, that's like there can be only one. Wow, you know what I'm saying? But we all know that. Like, even though if Errol Spence do that, listen, Earl right now, he is the top dog at welterweight. But when it comes to a threat, Terence Crawford's that threat. And even if it's a great fight and Errol Spence Jr. knocks out Ugas, I don't think that's going to really persuade people that much on how the Terence Crawford fight will go, because Terence Crawford's a different animal. And I think it's a different animal. If Errol come out here and run through Ugas or take his time and it's a close fight or win by unanimous decision, to be honest, what I think about him versus Terence Crawford, it ain't going to change much. That's a matchup. Now, what could make it better if they want to do more sales, because Terence Crawford is coming off of a spectacular whooping over Sean Porter. And I know people are trying to take credit from him. Sean Porter didn't really give his boy credit by saying no, he was pretty much done and he was going to retire, and the Spence fight was the last great him. Listen, to me, if you was cool with Terence Crawford, you didn't even have to say that. You literally just gave people that don't like Terence Crawford ammunitions to knock the victory that he got over you. because he knocked you down with an uppercut. You was doing real good in that fight. You got back up from that uppercut and looked at your daddy like, you know what just happened. And then 30 seconds later, he put you back down again. But guys, I think this is an awesome fight. Glad they kicked the press conference off. I think Errol Spence is ready. I think he's ready. I don't know about physically, mentally. And matter of fact, let's do a small correction. I think mentally he's ready. I think physically, either he is or he will be ready. But I just don't know how he will be as a fighter in the ring. Will he show that ring rust? See, mentally, he has that unstoppable mentality, which I tell every fighter you should have. Because if you don't have that and you feel like you can get beat and you feel like you're not ready, then you're not ready. But if you have that unstoppable mindset, no matter what happens, you can put your best foot forward. I don't know how he's going to be in the ring. That's what I don't know. That's what I don't know. If he goes out and performs like his mind, then we're going to get a great Errol Spence Jr. Because Ugas is coming in there on a high horse. He beat Manny Pacquiao. He got newfound fame. He had all the fights. And you can bet he's thinking about Errol Spence Jr. is not coming off of his best. Car accident, eye incident, not fought in a year and a half, and you coming back and fight me and I just beat Pacquiao. Ugas is feeling pretty goddamn confident. And a confident man is a hard man to beat. That means Errol Spence Jr. is going to have to take his confidence. Sean Porter got retired. American Power Traveler, listen, that is facts. That is facts. But like I said, I hate that people don't want to give Terence Crawford the credit. They don't want to give him that credit. Sean Porter came off a great fight against Earl. Then he went on to win a fight after that to get back in the winning column. Then he was pushing the fight against Terence Crawford. Remember this. See, this is why I'm not going to give Sean Porter no slack. Because he was pushing the fight. He was pushing the fight to fight Terence Crawford. Even when people said Terence Crawford didn't want to fight, he was pushing it. Even he said that Terence Crawford didn't want to fight, and that's why it's going to favor him. He's forced into it. Even he said that. So now all of a sudden he get beaten. Now I'm supposed to believe that he pretty much wanted to fight. He wanted to retire 2 fights ago for real? No, that is embarrassment talk. He lost, he got stopped, and he needs to buffer or minimize the stoppage by saying he wasn't himself anymore. And it took credit from a guy that he called his friend Terence Crawford. Now those are facts. His dad stopped the fight not as a trainer. His dad stopped the fight as a dad. His dad just watched his son, his blood, the father of his grandkids, get knocked down, staring to the corner for about 20, what looked like 20 seconds, but it was for the time he got up until the referee said fight again. Then get put down again, not getting up quick, pounding on the pavement. He didn't want to see his son get knocked out. He saved his son from getting knocked out because there was a minute and 40 or 45 seconds left in that fight. Terence Crawford would have no doubt put him back down again. And at that point, either the referee would have stopped it or Sean Porter would have been facing the decision, do I want to continue to fight? Or he'd have just been stopped altogether and not beat the count. I don't know if Sean Porter would have, I don't think Terence Crawford would have knocked him out clean, but he definitely could have pushed. I mean, listen, a minute and 40, already dropped twice? Yeah. Terence was finna turn up on him. But again, Sean Porter's gone. Terence Crawford, we got to get this fight happening quick. He's in his 30s, guys. He's in his 30s. As much as I praise Terence Crawford for his skills, and I do, they are going to diminish at some point. The decline is going to stop at some point. The incline is going to stop. He's going to level off, and it's going to decline. And the moment you stop inclining It's the beginning of your decline. Just depends on how steep it actually declines. Some people can make it look level for a while before that cliff really kick in. We got to get this Errol Spence Jr. fight. We need Errol Spence Jr. to go on there and beat Ugas. If Ugas win, credit to him. All credit to him. Do me a favor, hit that like button for your boy T-Dog. Guys, listen, I'm at work, man. I'm not able to do it like I want. Uh, like I sit back, guys. I sit back and I think to myself, like, man, I really want to do so much with this, but guys, I work a like a 9 hour, job, and I got to drive home, which is about, you know, 35 minutes each way. Then I'm a family, you know, got to take care of the family. So time is a crunch, guys, but man, we got to do this. Been sick, still a little sick. Like I said, I feel like a little cough here and there. Getting better, man. I'm getting better. And I want to give you guys this work. I want to give you guys this work. So I'm gonna have to just find time and hope that you guys out there in West Blazing Land, out there, still staying warm by the fire, to keep supporting your boy, keep showing up, keep smashing that like button, keep coming in the chat, letting your boy know something. It means a lot, because sometimes when I have those mental days, what I'm saying, and I get something from you guys, I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get the camera on. Boxing. The rest will come out. I appreciate you guys. I got just a few more minutes on my lunch. I'm just going to take time, chill for a minute, and just be very thankful for you guys supporting the channel. And I hope this was entertaining. Hope you got something out of it. Any questions? Please comment. Let me know. It's your boy, T-Dub. And as always, here is what's blazing the sports.